Hey everybody, Robert Mack with Irvine Real Estate Link. Your link to the information that you need to make the right decisions. And we all know that the market is always changing. And one reason why I absolutely love what I do is because every day is something new, is something fresh, is something unique. Now, don't get me wrong, I have certain things that I do every single day to make sure that everything is running smoothly. However, I'm always working with new clients, always showing them new properties, working with new programs, and things are changing. So to be a great agent, we have to be willing to make adjustments so that we can better serve our clients. And that's exactly what I'm committed to doing. And so I want to talk to you today about something new that happened to me. Now, although I'm bringing you market statistics and buyer and seller psychologies and things like that, I also want to bring you information about a day in the life of Robert Mack. You know, what are things that happen to me that are new, that are fresh, that I want to share with you guys. And one thing happened to me, it's actually been 3 years, it's an ongoing process, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, about almost 3 years ago, I had a listing. It was a great client of mine. He was going through a short sale, and I wanted to help him avoid foreclosure. That was my number one concern. And he had 2 loans with Bank of America, which was very hard to work with at the time. And you know, it was about almost 3 years ago, so we were still in the infancy stages of the short sale negotiations. Banks were still adjusting to the situation. They were understaffed. They didn't know how to really expedite the process. So to their benefit, I'll give them a benefit of the doubt and say that things have been getting better over the years. But when I first started negotiating with Bank of America about 3 years ago, this process was very difficult. I went through several different offers with my client, several different buyers, and after about 1.5 years of negotiating, I finally got it's a no-go from Bank of America. They actually told me that I was taking too long to negotiate the short sale, and they were actually going to just put a stop to it and set for the property to go to foreclosure. So it was a really sad day for my client. It was a really sad day for me. I'd spent so much time working on it, and obviously the buyers who wanted to purchase this property, it wasn't a great day for them either. So that was about 1.5 years ago. Bank of America basically told me, hey, you know what, Robert, you took too long, we're pulling the plug, this property's going to foreclosure. So I kind of put it in the back of my mind. I said, you know what it is, I can't control it, I'm going to move forward. So 1 year goes by, right? And I get a call a couple days ago from Bank of America, and they tell me that they know that I had this property listed almost 3 years ago, and it hasn't gone to foreclosure yet. There's still no foreclosure date set, and they want to help the homeowner avoid foreclosure. They have new governmental programs in place they want the homeowner to take advantage of, and they want to know if I want to relist it now as an approved short sale. Now, I've been hearing a lot about approved short sales, but I haven't done one personally yet. So I was eager to jump on board because it's something new that I've never done, so I gained that experience, and at the same time, I get to help my client still avoid foreclosure, which was the number one intention in the beginning. So I call my client, and he's totally up for it. He's like, you know what, Robert? Wow, I can't believe, number one, that they called back, but number two, of course I would love to avoid foreclosure. I don't want a foreclosure on my record. I'd like to work this out and do a short sale. So I spoke with the bank, and they said, okay, fill out some paperwork, and what we're going to do is have an appraiser go out to the property, get a general market value for the home so that we know what we want you to list it at. So far, so good. I'm still excited about the process. I say, you know what, let me drive by this home and see what's going on. So I drive by the home, and to my surprise, the property's been completely boarded up. There's really no way to get in. Even if I have the key from 1.5 years ago, I can't get in. All the doors and windows have been boarded up. So I was a little bit surprised. On one end, I was happy because the property is going to be preserved in its condition since they boarded it up. But on the other end, I'm confused. I'm wondering, how am I supposed to get into the property? How am I supposed to let the appraiser get into the property so I can move forward and get this property sold and remove this eyesore from the neighborhood? So I talked to the owner. He didn't board it up. I talked to the bank. They didn't board it up. So there's one of two options. Either there's a good Samaritan in the neighborhood who boarded the property up to maintain its condition so that it doesn't degrade the community, or the city got fed up and boarded it up because they didn't want looters and squatters and things like that. So I called the city, And they did actually board the property up several months ago to avoid squatters and looters, and for the property to avoid being, trashed, basically trashed. They wanted to make sure the property maintained its current condition. So, called the city, spoke with them, and I come to find out that over the last year, that there had been some vandalizing going on in the property, and there had been some looters and squatters in the property, and over time, there were code violations that came about on this property. So, I spoke with the city, and they told me that they had $37,000 worth of code violations on the property that had to be taken care of, and it was now a lien on the property. So, now I'm in a kind of a sticky situation, because the property's worth probably about $150,000, maybe less, depending on the condition of the inside. And now there's $37,000 worth of liens on the property that are going to make it difficult for me to sell this property, because the bank probably doesn't want to pay for it. A buyer won't have the money to pay for it unless they're an investor, and if they're an investor, they don't want to pay more than market value for the property anyway, and the bank wants market value. So I'm stuck now in a gridlock. My main concern is to help my owner avoid foreclosure and sell the property. A secondary concern would be to sell this property to a great buyer who has great pride of ownership, who's going to help this property get back into the condition it should be and bring up the values in the neighborhood. But like I said, I'm at a gridlock. The bank wants me to sell this property as an approved short sale. The homeowner wants me to help him avoid foreclosure, and the city wants $37,000 for them to remove the lien on the property. Now, what even makes the situation even worse is that the landscaping has not been maintained. So every single day that goes by is another $200 that's adding on to the $37,000. So that's $1,400 a week that is adding on to that total, that now I have a challenging situation where I have to get the bank to not only pay the $37,000, but have somebody go out there and maintain the yard so that I can get this property sold. So that's my situation that I'm going through. I thought I'd share it with you. These types of things are happening in the marketplace right now, and as much as I want to help my owner avoid foreclosure, I got an uphill battle. So that's my post for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, you can always leave them below, and check out my website, Irvine Real Estate link, for so many great buyers and sellers resources, and I'll talk to you soon.